Welcome to the Law of Respect, or People Naturally Follow Leaders Stronger Than Themselves. This is Chapter 7 of John C. Maxwell's The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and I am Laura Sawyer. This chapter opens describing the leadership of Harriet Tubman. She was born a slave. As a young teenager, she almost died at the hands of a slave overseer. She became free through the Underground Railroad and then a conductor of the Underground Railroad to free her family. She spent her money, her time, she risked her life to continue to free slaves. And in the time that she was a conductor of the Underground Railroad, she never lost a single person, never allowed those she guided to give up. She rescued more people than any other abolitionist, white, black, male, or female. So what made Harriet Tubman one to respect? As you read through her story, you cannot help but see the amount of courage that she had in her life to be able to do this. First, as a 13-year-old, standing up to a white overseer of slaves and to say no, to speak up, she showed tremendous courage as a young girl. And then to go and risk her life, risk her money, risk everything, just to be able to see that other people were brought to freedom. She had an overwhelming strength of character that people could see. Part of that was her faith in the Lord. There's a lot in her writing on looking to the Lord to show her the steps and to guide her to protect her group. And she was obviously very dedicated to that. By risking all that she had, she was dedicated to this cause. And through all of this, she was recognized as a leader and sought after by many for her advice, for her speaking, for all kinds of stuff in a time when women could not even vote, let alone a black woman. And she was able to do all this because of the leader that she was, and even more so became throughout her lifetime. The law of respect describes that people do not follow others by accident. The less skilled follow the more highly skilled, and this makes a lot of sense to me. I want to follow someone who is more skilled than I am because I want to learn. I really don't want to follow someone who is less skilled than me. I want to learn and grow, and so as do people in general, and they want to follow that leader that is more highly skilled than they are. However, there are times when a stronger leader may choose to follow someone weaker. If this happens, it is always for a reason. Out of respect for the person's office or past accomplishments, or possibly following the given chain of command for that organization. It's possible that a supervisor may be a weaker leader than the person that they're supervising, just because they've been given that position. In general, though, followers are always attracted to people who are better leaders than themselves. This is the essence of the law of respect. So then the chapter goes into some, I thought, were pretty interesting diagrams. When a group first comes together, the leaders, because they're leaders, they go their own way. They're not going to follow someone because they're coming into this group as a leader. But as time goes on, people change directions to follow those stronger leaders that are around them. Even if they are a level 9 leader, they're still going to change direction and follow whoever is the strongest in that group. People will naturally align themselves and follow the leaders that are stronger than themselves. So we see the 7s and the 9s are following. Actually, everybody is following the level 10 leader, but even the 4s and 5s have people that are following them that happen to be weaker leaders. And this is actually a lesson that I give to my children quite regularly. There's always somebody behind them. There's always someone looking up to you. And when we know that, we have a responsibility to be that leader because we know somebody is following behind us, looking at us, and then we're just as we are looking towards the leaders that are stronger than ourselves. At the end of the chapter was this interesting quote. If you ever become frustrated because the people you want to follow you are reluctant to, you may be trying to lead people whose leadership is stronger than yours. I thought that was very interesting, thinking about the dynamics of the department that I work in and dynamics of different organizations that I've either been a part of or been able to observe. There are times that there are leaders trying to lead people who have stronger leadership skills than them. And it is a very interesting dynamic to watch in action. How do leaders gain respect? First of all, there's a lot of leaders who just have that natural born leadership ability. Harriet Tubman was one. I mean, you do not, as a 13-year-old slave, stand up to an overseer without having that natural ability. But even without that natural ability, we gain respect by having respect for others and treating people respectfully. When we treat them respectfully, that respect does come back to us, even if we don't always see it. That respect does come forward just like seeds. Courage brings about respect. We want to follow someone who is courageous. We don't want to follow a wimpy person. We want to follow someone who stands up to the crowd, stands up sometimes to the organization or the status quo. We want a leader to stand out and to do things that are right and have the courage to do that. As a leader gains successes, they naturally gain more respect. We all respect when we see people who are successful in different ways. And as those success accumulate, that person gains even more respect. Loyalty. We want to follow someone who is loyal to us as a person. We want to be able to trust our leaders. We need to be the leaders that people can count on, and they can see that we are loyal to that group that we get to lead and fight for them. And then finally, as we add value back into the lives of those around us, that gains respect in itself, just by showing that value that somebody else brings to the table and honoring that people see that and they have respect for people who do that. I really like that quote that's at the bottom of the slide. When people respect you as a person, they admire you. When they respect you as a friend, they love you. But when they respect you as a leader, they follow you. And it's interesting because I've heard people who are in leadership or looking towards leadership, and they sometimes talk about being admired or love and all that kind of stuff, but really a leader is one that is followed. That is what a leader is. At the very end of the chapter, it talks about a measure of leadership one measure of leadership is the caliber of people who choose to follow you. That made me look at the people that I get to be around and the people I get to be a leader to. It is very interesting to see, to really pay attention and to see. Sometimes you do get to lead some very strong people, and you get to have that privilege of bringing them up into leadership and bringing them up to strengthen them. But no matter what level person that you get to lead, we can always become a better leader. In fact, they deserve the best leader that they can have. They deserve us to be the best leader we can be. There is always room to grow. A 7 can become a 9, and a 9 can become a 10. And even if we make that 10-level dynamic leader, we can continue to grow. And in fact, if we don't grow, we're going to fall backwards and not be that same dynamic leader. So we can always grow, and we always need to grow throughout our lifetime of leadership. The more you grow, the better the people you will attract. Finally, I want to leave you with the quote by Harriet Tubman. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. Thank you.